I'm just testing an experimental new shot in the car instead of my trademark up-the-nose shot, which I don't really get in the Prius because of the way the dash is situated. Well, we've been back. It's Tuesday. We've been back since late Saturday. And I'm still struggling to put together a Tedium Unlimited for Thanksgiving Day, which means, of course, then I have the day after Thanksgiving. And in theory, if there's anything interesting on the drive back on Saturday. So I'm falling behind here. And every time I sit down to the computer and try to work on it, I either just have absolutely no motivation whatsoever, or something pops up. Last night I was just going to get down to do it, and then I realized, oh wait, I have a scheduled podcast to record. And so that ended my shot at putting it together last night. I've got a very rough cut of the day at Universal, which isn't the most exciting footage. You can take your phone and shoot pictures on the rides, but if it's a good ride, you're likely to lose your phone and you'd rather be clinging on for dear life. So mostly it's standing in lines, eating food. So I kind of low on that. And yeah, I think we'll stop for that light. That guy didn't stop for that light. Don't know if you saw him just zing by. He didn't even come close to getting into that intersection before it turned red. And I don't have the dash cam on, or I could insert that footage for you. Anyway, so that's what I'll be trying to put something together on that. I let the phone put together a montage of footage from the day and set it to music, and it's much better than anything I'm going to put together in Tedium Unlimited. So you can always check out my Lone Locust Productions YouTube channel and see that. One thing I did discover on this trip is that Garmin Nuvi GPS dash cam combination, the format of the video is not freaking AVIs. Yay! So it actually just plugs in and imports directly into Final Cut Pro, which, say what you will. I like Final Cut Pro. I like the way it edits, but it takes some getting used to. But say what you will, it imports footage so much better from a phone or from a camera like that than, say, Adobe does. I know people that try to use that, and they're constantly transcoding video. And, if there's anything in this world that's going to stop you from getting the job done for something like this, a quick vlog, it's that pre-process time, unless you can just find a way to properly automate it, which I suspect there is a way to automate it in OS X using FFmpeg. But there we go. Anyway, it's not often that I do it this way, but today I am editing video on my laptop, which I always do, but I'm editing it on my lap on the recliner because I can. Totally unscripted. We're just walking in here.
What?
Could you come here for just a second?
Please,
Let me just try something. Hey?
Hoi!
Okay, just checking. There we go. Thanks. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out the canary's alarm, which is supposed to be 90 decibels. So I'm going to cover this ear. And here we go. Okay. The weekend is here. We're coming up on Christmas. It's a couple weeks away still, but Chuan and the kids will have 2 weeks off around Christmas, New Year's. which we think is probably a good time for us to start thinking about getting a new dog. I can't say that I've always had dogs, but I was born and raised always having dogs. And I like having a dog. There's a lot of dogs that need homes out there, and they're good companions, and we have a yard and a house and a family, and anyway, we started the search. We've been looking on the website. The Humane Society and other places have websites where they list their adoptable dogs. And we went down and took a look at a couple of them today. One of them just didn't impress me to begin with. There was another who was a real sweetheart, but she was kind of old. Wasn't quite right. But the one that we were going to go look at that we thought might be a good match, my instincts tell me now. Part German Shepherd, which is not a big deal. When I first went in with Michelle, he was a little interested in us, but not much. You know, kind of so-so. When we came back later with Chuan and James, he was incredibly interested in us. He was, barking really high decibel, let me out, let me out, let me out, kind of, really, really excited. And so we took him over to the training room where they got a big area where you can let him go. And as soon as he was off the leash, he could not give a shit about us. He was more interested in sniffing the walls, finding a way out, just not interested in us. And we were there quite a while, and it didn't, once he'd explored all the room, it didn't change. It didn't change at all. He was just, not interested. He clearly liked women better than he did men. Not by much, because he didn't seem to really care about anybody or anything. So, gave him a pass. When Michelle and I were there the first time as we were leaving, in the kind of foyer, they had a dog on a leash, a puppy, and he was adorable and friendly and really a high prospect. But Chuan and James weren't there. There was a miscommunication as to when they were going to be there. And so Michelle and I went out to get some food while they were coming. And when they finally got there, about 2 minutes before they walked into the shelter, a family picked him out, took him outside to check on him, see if they liked him. They apparently put him on an adoption hold while they're going to get more people to come, something, to check on him. So, looks like he's going to go, although, it's 2 o'clock now. So they're supposed to be back at 2 o'clock, and then if he's still on their website by 3, he might still be there, but Joanna and James will be at an archery thing 30, 40 miles from here, and I am very, very loath on taking him out and adopting him without them actually getting a chance to interact with him like Michelle and I have. So that's unfortunate. Anyway, that's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing this weekend. That's what we're doing next weekend, the weekend after that. We're not rushing it. We're not gonna have a dog just to have a dog, but if we can find the right dog, then, this is a good time because they'll have 2 full weeks of being at home with the dog. Admittedly, between now and the 2 weeks, the dog will be kind of at loose ends, but we can work something out. Even worse. So they were adopting the dog, and then they put him on hold, and they said check back at 3 o'clock. And so I checked back at 3 o'clock, and he wasn't back. So obviously he'd been adopted, which was very sad. And then I get a note from Chuan at 3:20 because they're back at this damn archery tournament, which James had better win. And he was back online. So she's like, call, put him on hold, do whatever. And so I called them. And while I'm calling, I'm looking at the thing, and he's no longer at the same location. He's at a completely different Humane Society location. Like, what the heck's going on here? So I call them, and I don't know. It's like, well, that's weird. Yeah, okay. No, blah, blah, blah. And I was on hold for maybe 5 minutes while they were tracking him down. And literally while I was on the phone, somebody else adopted him. Because the people who put him on hold didn't. But apparently they moved him to the other location. And at the other location, as soon as he came off hold, somebody took him. I was disappointed before. That's like, you're up, you're crushed. Then you're up, crush you again, crush you again. You no doubt heard my frustration yesterday about the little dog that got away from us at the Humane Society. They update their database every 15 minutes. And after they were closed last night, I checked and nothing. And I checked this morning, and very early, before they were open. And they had a new dog. And he was a lab and a shepherd mix. I think Australian shepherd mix. And he's a little younger than we wanted. We didn't really want to get a puppy. But 12 weeks old, just adorable, and it was at the Humane Society that's closer to our house, and they hadn't even opened up yet. So we made sure we were there when the doors opened at 11 a.m. and we have a puppy, and we haven't named him yet. So far we have a few names in the running. They had named him Bo, but he was a stray, and so they just gave him a name when they came in. But and he doesn't respond to it, so we're okay changing it. We've got a few in the running. My wife has been really favoring Ollie, as in Oliver Queen from Green Arrow. I think our best one online so far has been Bodie McBoatface, but we're probably not going to go with that. Yeah, I haven't decided yet what his name will be. But he's at home now in his crate, and we turned the new security system on him just to keep an eye on him. And when we left for a little while, he was whining, but he settled down and went to sleep. So we're just doing a little bit of shopping for the week. Had a bit to eat, and then we're going home. And, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. He's not old enough to really be housebroken, but he has so far not gone inside the house and has waited until he was outside before he went. So far so good, but I don't have the expectations of a dog that's truly housebroken. Okay, we're home after a short trip. We've left the as yet nameless dog in his crate, and I'm just gonna see how he has handled it. We've been watching him on security, and he's been asleep, which is good most of the time. He got up once, but let's see how he reacts when I get home. Tried the doorbell just to alert him. Hey there! Hey there, little guy! No? Hey there! Come on. Let's go. You want out? Yes, you want out. How do you want a treat? Let me find you a treat. Well, Nameless Dog did very well. We were gone. We went out to eat. I turned the security cameras on him and put him in his crate, which, you know, he's got to get used to that. I know it sounds, some people think it sounds very cruel, but dogs like enclosed places, like dens. And if you crate train a dog so that they will go into it when you tell them to, and, you know, trust you, and it's a wonderful thing when you need to do something and the dog just can't be in the way, or and he did very well. You know, he's a young puppy, and it would have been better if we could have got him yesterday and had a whole day. But we went to eat. We went somewhere close by so that we could have, you know, time. We had the security camera on him. We kept an eye on him. He did really well. He napped the whole time. We made a judgment call when we were done eating that he was doing really well, and so we did a little bit of shopping because it was on the way home. So we were gone about an hour and 40 minutes. He did wake up at one point and was kind of up and about and kind of moving around, but not like screaming or barking or anything like that. He was just, you know, kind of a little anxious, and then he went back to sleep. When I got home, he was great, and then we took him outside, and he had a nice big pee. So a good sign that he's inclined to be a housebroken dog. That's very good. So very happy there. I'm a little worried about tomorrow, but you know, I'll come home at lunchtime and I'll let him out. But that'll be, you know, maybe 4 hours. That's a bit of a stretch. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Ready? You want to talk? Good boy. What a good dog you are. I think I'm going to close this one out. It's been a good day. The only downside is that my knee started bothering me. I did it yesterday when I was down on the floor at the other Humane Society playing with little Marshmallow before they took him away from me. And again today, it's been giving me some pain, so I've had it braced up this evening, and that seems to help. The dog has a name. We decided to let Chuan name him because I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but Taz was kind of her first dog that she'd ever had. They weren't really pets when she was growing up in Taiwan. They were nuisances that roamed the streets and terrorized people. Although things have changed in Taiwan now, but when she was a kid, dogs were not exactly something you eagerly embraced. And the people she stayed with had this little dog. It was a very sweet little dog, and she really liked the dog, but it wasn't her dog, right? So Taz was her first dog from getting it to the end. But the one thing that didn't happen was Taz had a name when we got him. And he was old enough that he responded to it, and it wasn't offensive, so we kept it. But in the case of the little puppy, he didn't respond to the name the Humane Society had given him. And I've named countless animals over the years. So Chuang got to name him. And his name is... ta-da! Ollie. And Ollie makes some funny noises too. I mean, he barks. Taz wasn't a big barker. This guy does bark. Not a lot, but occasionally he barks. And he also makes these kind of noises, which are kind of cute. Don't know what they mean, but they're kind of cute. Update on the potty training. He's peed on the floor at least 6 times this evening. So we've been studying some housebreaking videos and information, and it looks like maybe leaving them with water isn't the right answer. It's more a question of you're supposed to take them out every couple of hours, and you give them the water about 20 minutes before you take them out. So we're gonna take the water away from him because he drank a lot. It's like he was constantly drinking water, so not surprising, but no warning. Not one of those like, no, I think I'm gonna make a noise or I'm gonna start sniffing around. It's just when you're not looking, suddenly there's a big puddle, and always when you're not looking too. So we're now doing a little more diligent puppy patrolling, and again, we'll see how it goes tomorrow when we all have to go to work. I'm hoping that I leave before the rest of the family, and that they can take him out and make him go to the bathroom and get him all settled up and crated, and then I can come in around 11:20, and which is several hours, more than he should be able to go. So I have a feeling he'll have gone in his kennel, which is why we haven't put his mat in the kennel yet. I come home, give him some water, give him some food, give him a little bit of time, get back to work, and see how it goes tomorrow. There's not much we can do about it except do what we can do. All right, well, to find out the further adventures of Ollie, well, I guess your best bet would be to like, comment, and subscribe, and find out what happens next time on the adventures of Ollie the dog. By the way, the alternative name that wanted to name was Tasty. Tasty dog, but we felt that might be a little too Asian.